Hello and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, people. And yeah, I've got a chair. I've got a chair. My bed is over there again. So I'm finally sitting on something so I can actually, do videos properly. But anyway, make sure to leave a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. We're trying to reach 1K before the Premier League season ends. Thank you for all your support as of recently. But yeah, I had to make this video because this pissed me off. This really, really pissed me off because I was in a really good mood. I'm still in a really good mood when it comes to West Ham. Don't get me wrong, and I've calmed down since I reacted to this yesterday because I could have made the video yesterday. I just got in. I might still go in. I'm not too sure, but we've won 2 games in a row, 0 goals conceded, 2 wins on the bounce for the first time in a year, um, and it's nothing significant. But it's just I don't have to fucking complain all the time when it comes to this club because believe it or not, guys, I don't actually want to complain when supporting this club. If I'm being 100% real, but let me just get into it. So I saw a quote posted by the worst account on football Twitter. Um, Posted a Soucek quote, and I had to check if this was real. And unfortunately, this is a real quote. Uh, the table is quite difficult, but a target for us now is to try and finish above Tottenham. Thomas Soucek said that, people. So Thomas Soucek was obviously interviewed by the club. As you do, and the player interviews always happen after every game. After Thursday's match against Leicester, I don't know what the fuck they were talking about, but I did check the quote on the club website, and it is true. That hasn't been misconstrued. But I don't know why Twitter accounts are posting that quote. But anyway, I'll get into that in a second. Um, what the fuck is the mentality at this club? The mentality is fucking poor. This is poor, man. This is so poor. Because not only are you you're almost playing into the fact of what Tottenham fans say about the whole obsession with Tottenham thing and the cup final thing. But also, we need a fucking culture restart. I'm sorry, but a lot of people are probably not going to agree with me when it comes to this, and I'm sorry, but it's not because Thomas Soucek said it. I would have gone in even worse if it was a Jared Bowen because he's captain. It actually would have been worse if someone like a Jared Bowen said this. But there is no point talking about finishing above Tottenham if it means we finish like 13th or whatever it is. We're on the same amount of points as Tottenham and Manchester United. Don't get me wrong, it's funny. If we did finish above Tottenham, it would be like, you might get at max, you might get a tweet from me. That is it. You might get like a little funny tweet saying like mind the gap or some shit. Like, but that's for bants. You think if you actually think that I'm gonna like start pumping fists or anything because we're 13th and we finish above Tottenham, who's in like 14th and 15th, you've got another thing coming, and it doesn't do anything for me. Um, that's Crystal Palace mentality. That's to say, it's the same thing I criticize Crystal Palace for. That's why I'm trying to keep the same energy here. Because Crystal Palace fans were gassed even though we don't have a rivalry of being, it was in a 22-23 season where they weren't the lowest finished London club. And it was us, even though we was the only London team to win a trophy that season. That happened a bit later. But they beat us 4-3 and started jizzing their pants about not being the lowest finishing London club. So now, people like Thomas Soucek are kind of ruined in all of this. People that are in the club. This can't just because this is definitely not just a Soucek thing. This is a mentality problem. I get taking a derby seriously, even though some of you don't fucking play like it. But I take like the Chelsea game just as serious. Like if you're the problem is when I was growing up, it was Millwall, Chelsea, and Tottenham. They were all like the games sort of thing. They were all the games growing up as a fan, and you only really get to see that they still do take the Chelsea game somewhat seriously when it's like West Ham versus Chelsea on the day. But it seems to be why are we talking about Tottenham when we're not facing them? Like we don't need to talk about Tottenham. Like I've not heard a peep from anyone associated with West Ham United this season about Tottenham Hotspur until now. Because we don't need to fucking talk about them. They are doing fuck all. We are doing fuck all. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about when it comes to we've got to finish above Tottenham. That's fucking weird. That is obsession. Let's be truthful. That's giving them ammo as well. That's giving them ammo to put on us about the whole cup final nonsense, even though they think they're bigger than they actually are. But that's a conversation for another day. Probably a conversation for when Tottenham fans, when the West Ham Tottenham game actually does happen this season. But this is weird. We need a cultural reset. I care about finishing back in Europe again. I care about going for the cups. I don't care about fucking Tottenham. If we, for example, yeah, like finishing above Tottenham when it was us sixth and them seventh was funny because they got Conference League and we got Europa League, and the Conference League was in its first season, so it's kind of funny to laugh at someone like a Tottenham who probably think they're above the Conference League, which their fans think they're above the Conference League because they've been in the Champions League final, and that's why they lost to Enes Moura and Vitesse and them, man. Um, that was fine because we win Europa League. Bit of banter, finished above Arsenal as well. They were eighth that season. That was quite funny. But you see, this season, as I just said, even if we, like, I don't like Man United either. I don't care if we finish above either of them. I want to finish as high in the table as possible. We're not fucking playing for anything. We're not playing for anything. Like, league position matters to an extent, I guess, in terms of money. But as a fan, I don't give a fuck if we finish. Like, if we're not in a relegation battle, I don't care if we finish from like 11th to like 15th or whatever. Because usually those are the places where you're not in a relegation battle. Even 16th this season, like as we've seen, we are 16th. We're not even in a relegation battle when finishing 16th. So this is my point, man. This is so dumb. This is so dumb. And the thing is, I know Lopetegui was a shite manager, yeah, but none of you turned up in the fucking 4-1 like you cared about the fucking Tottenham game. None of you turned up, apart from Bowen. Apart from Bowen, nobody fucking turned up in that game. So I'm not trying to hear anything about, oh, we care about Tottenham and all this. Well, fucking show it then if you're in the fucking games then, because I don't really give a fuck about it. Like, that's the only time I give a fuck about like West Ham versus Tottenham is when we face Tottenham. Like, I don't care other than that. I'll do hate watches and like a normal human, like a normal fan. But why are you saying this shit? Nobody brought up Tottenham. Nobody brought them up. Nobody brought them up. So you did not need to bring them up in an interview as a target. If that's a fucking target, yeah, reset the dressing room. Reset it. Because I don't know what's happened, yeah. But Tottenham isn't the only rivalry West Ham have. Even though Tottenham fans like to think they're above, like so far above West Ham that West Ham are the little brothers or whatever. Like people that they set off flares when they beat us 1-0 in the 22-23 season. But anyway, getting off Soucek for a bit. These Twitter accounts, and you know who I'm talking about because you could see it in the thumbnail who tweeted it. Cheeto Titties is back. It was a good day when Cheeto Titties got suspended from Twitter because, like, we didn't have to have anyone aggregating, a bunch of nonsense and aggravating the West Ham fan base. But this guy's a prick. This guy's a prick. All these Twitter accounts are pricks. They're all pricks. When they post their shit, they're pricks. Because this guy is working against us in terms of online fan bases are shit anyway. You shouldn't take Twitter seriously. But the problem is that people like West Ham Central are playing against West Ham fans. They look for attention. And the problem is he gets the attention all the fucking time because he's the biggest West Ham account. So outsiders think he's the go-to West Ham guy, go-to West Ham representative online. This is a big problem because the guy's a fucking idiot. The guy's an absolute... Oh, I can't say that word. But it just pisses me off. It just pisses me off. We don't need people like him in this world. We don't need people like him online. Online, when it comes to like West Ham representatives, I don't give a fuck about finishing above Tottenham. When we're going to be 13th, it'll be funny, but for like 5 seconds, bro. It's not like... But the thing is, he's posting that, knowing that a lot of rival fans follow him. A lot of rival fans will see that and be like, ha ha ha, look at this. I'm going to interact with this nonce. This ginger bastard, yeah, is just posting shit for interactions. Because Twitter blue is a thing. So people are interaction farming. But this guy's a fucking spaz, and so is Soucek for saying that. And this is the thing, Soucek was playing well yesterday, like on Thursday. He played really well. He had a really good performance. It was probably his best performance of the season. He's been really good under Potter, apart from the Brentford game. He shouldn't be a starter for the long term, but for the time being, he should definitely be a starter. He played really well, even outside of his goal. Always pops up. I really liked his quote about the whole celebration thing where he had this self-awareness to not do the helicopter celebration because people got to understand as well. He was running towards, obviously, our fans, but he was next to the Leicester fans. So if he did do that celebration, it would have been crazy because he wouldn't have meant it like that, but they would have put the headlines on him. That's what all the game would have been about, even though we won. But he would have had to do a whole PR apology and stuff. But West Ham Central, oh fuck it, I said his name, but he's a fucking idiot as well. Like all these Twitter accounts are fucking idiots, especially the ones without like faces and stuff. They're the kind of people that would just try and correct you about shit and try and patronize you about your opinions, even though you're allowed to have a different opinion. I can't lie, I had nothing to complain about West Ham, but somehow this club makes me complain about something. Because I don't want to see this shit. I don't care. I don't care about finishing above fucking Tottenham. And this is the problem. This is the problem. If this is your mentality, this is your behavior, are you not embarrassed? Like, are you not embarrassed just in general? This is fucking shit. Like, just turn up in the games. Don't talk about rival teams. This is small club nonsense. I want to act like a big club. I want to act like even a club of our. We don't even act like a club of our size, like a medium-sized club. We're medium. In a grand scheme of things, we're a medium-sized club. We've won FA Cups. We've won a Cup Winners' Cup. We've got a European trophy. We've been in the Premier League for a long time. We've been in the top division for a long time. Had a couple relegations, yes, but we've had some big players. We've literally had 3 players that won the World Cup that was playing for West Ham at the time. We've got a great history, but we've never filtered through that mentality in the Premier League era. And that's a bigger issue. And there's stuff like this. There's stuff like this. It's fucking shit. It's a nonsense. So this is the problem here. I don't know when we face Tottenham, nor do I give a fuck. But when we do face Tottenham, if I don't see a win at home against Tottenham, because it's been a while, if I don't see a win at home, that quote, best believe I'm going to be even harsher on that day. You can't say that and then not beat them. Because this is the problem. Your obsession is mad. Your obsession is mad if you start talking about other teams when you didn't even play. You played Leicester, for fuck's sake. Why are you talking about Tottenham? So when we do face them, beat them. Otherwise, you're not going to hear the end of it from me. Either I'll be really happy that we beat them because they're pricks, or I'll be really pissed off because you're a prick. Anyway, people, make sure to leave a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me. The email for the inquiries. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.